Hey everyone, my name is Rob. I don't even know what I am. I am the marketing guy and sort of honorary producer of Critter Cove. I've been working with the team at Gentleman Rats, the developers, for a long time now. It's coming up to, I think, 18 months. And I'm here with those developers, Christine, Eli, and Jason. Guys, do you want to quickly introduce yourselves in the same order that we so eloquently practiced just now?
Sure thing. Hi everyone, I'm Christine. I'm the lead artist slash art director for the game. And let's see, I've been about 20 years in the gaming industry, worked on Star Wars Galaxies, DC Universe Online, and some mobile titles. And that was, after that, decided to hop in and we started Gentleman Rat Studios. And so here we are now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eli, the designer on the project. Thank you all for coming. Please feel free to ask any questions. We'll do the best we can to answer them as we see them. Looking forward to playing the game, showing it off.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm the programmer on the project, so all the bugs and problems and issues with the guy spinning in the water as he uses the wrench are my fault. So we're working hard to get those ironed out, but very appreciative of everybody playing the demo. Looks like everybody's having a great time, which is just a wonderful feeling for us. We spent a long time on this game, so really happy how things are going. And I just noticed somebody saying that the motion sickness issue seems to have cleared up. We spent a lot of effort, and I want to thank Discord and the community in Discord for helping us not just with motion sickness problems and diagnosing those and getting those cleaned up and fixed, but also all of the other issues that are out there. You've made the game wonderful. So really appreciate it. And I want to just call out Tricks for Kids. Thank you for your support. She's been with us for, I don't know what, guys, 4 years?
Yeah,
At least,
easily.
if not longer, since the early days. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, guys. I'm really just here to play the game. I will ask you guys some. I've got some surprise questions. None of which are very scary, but as I play, I will try to jump in with a few things. By all means, interrupt me and talk through what I'm doing in the demo. We're going to play through the first hour or so today. So we won't get into some of the more management-y stuff like tourism features or anything like that, because by the time I have saved some critters from living in tents and found a boat, I think we will be wrapping up, but we'll see how far we get. And we're starting off in the character creator, which is a fan favourite. Christine, do you want to talk a little bit about... I'd love to actually know it. I don't know this. Was this always a game with animal characters? Was it always a game where you could play as a human at the same time, or was that something that got changed like during development?
It only came in early in development. So originally you could only play as a male and female human character, and I was actually trying to as little costume wearable things, trying to add like tails and ears and silly stuff to the human character just to make it more fun and unique, just for silly stuff. But we came to when we wanted to do the whole Animal Crossing style of hundreds of characters that you could meet in the world. The idea of me trying to do that on my own was a little too daunting, so we kind of came up with this character creator mix and match system where you could swap out the heads, the hands, the feet, all that kind of stuff to make the different characters. So our original 3 characters was Sammy, Pokey, and Olivia, the green parrot, who you might see. She's kind of our silly little perky character. And so we wanted to be able to swap out those hands to say, okay, you've got cute little paws for the cat, and you've got claws for the lizard, and being able to just kind of use actually the knowledge that I learned from working on Star Wars Galaxies, being able to work through like MMOs and how they do their character customization system. So using that knowledge to kind of put this whole system together. And then obviously Jason was a massive help in getting all of these extra parts and putting up with me saying, oh, well, this is cool, but can I add whiskers? Oh, well, this is cool, but can I add antlers and horns? Because I got to make a jackalope. So silly stuff like that. So yeah, it's really gotten super fun and gotten super huge compared to how it started. But yeah, it's definitely, originally it was humans only, and then this was just kind of like our easy mode of like, okay, this is how we're going to make new characters for the game with the system.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
it just
then
kind
after
of
we-
spiraled from there. Sorry, Eli.
Oh, I was just gonna. Yeah, then after that, we decided, well, this is silly. Let's
Oh.
open it up and give it to the players.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, we just instead of keeping it for like a dev tool, we turned it into a full-blown character creator.
I've made a sort of slightly nightmarish cat. And I won't go too heavy on the hair or the head stuff, so that we don't obscure any of the game with our giant headpieces. But
No worries.
I'm not the most creative designer when it comes to characters. I normally play as a cat. There are so many, including these. Do these guys have a name? The television guys?
I think we just call them, like, internally they're just the robot, but yeah, they're the TV head.
But there are so many to choose from, and as you can see from me playing around, you can mix and match everything. So there's a lot of creative expression, which I think matches the game, doesn't it? And it feels weird to imagine Critter Cove without the ability to be able to like jump in and play the type of character that you want to play, like visually. So I won't spend too long here, but I will give myself.
Everybody does. There's actually a little bit of a backstory on the randomize button, because our randomizer didn't really work very well before. We met Alex from Tiny Build. He actually came up with the idea on how to make that work correctly. So we actually have Alex from Tiny Build to thank for coming up with that feature.
Yes, and it's awesome to be able to save those and keep the colours. And there's so many colours that you can pick and choose from as well, which is awesome. And there's an intro now for the demo. We are arriving on boats to the island with our ship captain, Anchor.
This is everybody's favorite jump scare.
Well, in the play test, Eli had that so loud, people were just literally jumping out of their seat. They just got so scared. Probably caused some minor heart attacks.
Hey, it's Anchor. He's one of our bigger characters. He's like you'll have a whole bunch of characters that are specialty guys in the game, and Anchor's one of them. He's not one of the ones that is like he's like one of your permanent villagers. Everyone will have an Anchor on their village. There's a few of these special characters around. He's kind of an old salty, sea dog pirate kind of guy. Talks with a little bit of a pirate accent. Nope. Going up to
Renard.
see Renard.
And yes, Renard does mean fox in French. Renard here in our game is a rat. So originally he was a silver fox. He was a very sweet, sort of a very sweet version of a Tom Nook kind of character. He's more just kind of helping you out. As we kind of progressed in the game, Eli's come up with some really nice little backstories and really wanted the character to kind of have a more shady look about him. He's not truly like as you play through throughout the game, you get to start unlocking different quests with the different characters. Like Anchor and Renard will have additional quest series that'll kind of take them through a little bit of a backstory and some quests on those characters and their personalities. But yeah, so we wanted something to fit those quest lines, and so we decided to make him into kind of a shady rat character.
Wow, he's always been shady since I've known him.
Yes.
Yeah, he went from a sweet old silver fox to more of like a Peaky Blinders type of criminal type character. He just needs a little cap.
Yeah. But then that would hide his greasy hair.
Yeah.
So what, like, this
So
this brings me to an interesting question. Like, how, we've talked, and I know, like, as a marketing person, I like to bring up, like, oh, this game is a little bit like Animal Crossing, and obviously you mentioned Tom Nook there, a classic character, and we have a similar setup in the sense that we have these mainstay characters like Anka and Renard, and also we have villagers that will join as we play. How much of the Animal Crossing vibe was an inspiration, and sort of what were the things that you wanted to sort of change and improve from that game when you were developing and designing Critter Cove?
So the interesting thing there is when we first started with this, Animal Crossing New Horizons hadn't even been announced yet, and so we had started looking at which one is it? New Leaf.
Wild World was my big
Wild
inspiration. That was the first one I had played, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys have to play this. This is so cute.
And we were like, well, there hasn't been one of these in a long time, so we were kind of like, yeah, let's start messing around and seeing what we could do with that. Even though this game here started with another game called Seeds of Magic, which was going to be kind of a 2D. Oh, it's Pokey. I love Pokey. She's my favorite character in the whole game. So we started with another game that was kind of this game called Seeds of Magic, which was going to be a 2D farming sim that was based on some magical thing. But we're all kind of from a 3D background, and so it wasn't really working for us. So we moved into that, and Animal Crossing was one of the games that was the inspiration, kind of like the starting point. And then we were like, well, what if we do like an Animal Crossing mixed with sort of like a Stardew Valley? And then it kind of ballooned on from there. And then Jason started messing with the water, and that broadened the entire thing out. And we're like, you know what? We've all done open world games before. Let's make the whole thing open world and make exploration and adventure be a huge part of the game. So it kind of was this slow growth, almost a natural progression of where each piece led to the next.
Yeah, to add to that, when we were working on Seeds of Magic, we kept adding more and more features that were sort of Animal Crossing. Like, oh, it'd be cute if we could change, give someone a T-shirt, and now they're wearing that new shirt. But trying to do that in little 2D sprites was, well, it wasn't quite sprites. But they were very tiny little 2D characters. And it was like, this is very difficult to do. And I remember Eli kept saying, gosh, this would be so much easier if this was in 3D.
But yeah, I mean, Eli's right. It's such an evolution and mix of various things, because at some point we thought, oh, we were doing a trading game, and it was very heavily trading. Like, you go to different islands and drive your boat back and forth. At one point you lived on the boat, and that was your house. But that felt like you got really disconnected from, Critter Cove. So you didn't feel any ownership. So there was a lot of things. It's interesting. Somebody just asked the question, Imshini. I have a very generic question. What was the biggest challenge in development? I think that is what it was. We were kind of all over the place at first. I think trying to find at the core what the game was about, and then trying to make that something that 3 people could do, because it's a huge game. It's a huge technical challenge, open world. You don't see a lot of indie developers try to bite this off because you spend years on it, and we have. It just takes so long to do, and there's so much to do. And we just kept growing and growing. So I think that was probably the biggest technical challenge and design challenge, is just trying to, actually build something that could ever see the light of day.
All right, so I have just managed to build a place, not build a stool, a chair, and we've completed the very first question in the game, which is to go build a house, and we've decorated it. It's a bit of a sparse decorated setup here for now, but we can come back here and as we play, there's going to be a lot of different furniture, things that you can pick up, you can bring back, you can decorate the whole town, but you can also decorate your own specific house, which you can pick as part of the introductory quest.
Show something off that I don't think a lot of people do right away or know about. I was just going to suggest going back inside real quick, Rob.
We are back
and pick up go to the lamp. So you can see the lamp that's over there on the thing. And then you can switch to the lamp. So you can press G and switch to the lamp, and then you press E to use. Just press E and you'll turn it on and off. So press G and then press E.
Yeah.
And then you can turn it on and off. You can pick up, the lamp and then place it down, etc. So it's actually got a very robust placement system.
Yes, and this is important when you are trying to do actual decoration, right? Robust and also very forgiving too. You don't have to, as you can see here, we can snap to the grid, and then, as you see, we can sort of place properly into an ordered fashion, which when you're dealing with 3D is always nice to be able to do. Or you can just do chaos and pretty much go right up to the corners. It'll just turn red if there's another item in the way. It's really easy to sort of rotate, and then as Jason says, that ability to go in and sort of move items on top of other items or have them basically be selectable using G. It just makes it so much easier to go in and make really small changes and really personalize the space, both indoors and also you can do all this outside in the town as well. I've ruined my decor now, but I'll leave it as is.
Chairs on walls. So Kira brings up one of our bugs from, I don't know, it's got to be going on 3 years ago, where we had a bug where you could put chairs on walls. They could actually be placed on the wall.
Could you sit on them?
You couldn't sit on them because I don't think you could reach them because they were pretty high. But I'm guessing I never tried that, but I'm almost guaranteeing you would actually be able to sit in it. And you'd be sitting sideways on the wall, if you could reach it.
It's been a common It's been a common request ever since.
Right. Maybe I shouldn't have fixed that glitch.
There are if you go to I don't know if you have these in America, but there's towns that have a theme. Kind of themed high streets, we call them. Some of them have there's one in London called Camden, and the Camden High Street has a giant chair on a giant shoe. So it has all sorts of furniture on the storefront. So I think the chair is I think it's a shoe shop as well. So I've seen it in real life. So there is precedent. It wasn't a bug at all.
Nice.
Okay, so we have. I'm going to find Copper Bottom. I know where Copper Bottom is now, but I just want to show everyone the map because I know you guys have been working really hard on making things easy to find without making them super straightforward, and trying to find that balance of going out and exploring this big open world. We have this really huge open world here. Loads of different islands, obviously all the water between them, points of interests. The demo includes these few islands at the start, and when you have a big open world, you also need to know sort of where you are, and you want to try to get that challenge of really trying to find some of the items, or feel like you've discovered something, or you've had that reward for a search, but not be searching forever for one thing, and have yourself sort of slowing down. So do you guys want to just chat to me about how that's ended up, how that process has been, and what we've done on the map for the demo, and obviously for the full launch to sort of improve that whole process of finding items and exploring?
Sure, yeah. We originally had it where it didn't have any of this information because we were doing a philosophy of hardcore kind of exploration. You have to find everything. And that just ends up being very frustrating. And part of these games is you don't want frustration to seep in. You want it to be challenging or rewarding to find things and to accomplish stuff without being lost and without having that feeling of I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. So we just kind of kept evolving the map to, hey, we're going to circle quest points, and we have, and then we started showing like, oh, we need to know where the player's building is or house is. We need to show off where all the different shops and stuff like that are. But then we also thought we would gamify parts of it as well, which is where you don't see people on the map until you become a certain level of friendship with them. You don't see all the resources on the island until you get a special tool, and I imagine we'll get to those, as we get here. So, you once you're over, I think it's like 3 hearts, your characters will come up and ask you if you'll make them a quote unquote friendship bracelet, and then later on you're gonna Copper Bottom will teach you how to make a resource finder, and then those things are added to the map. But we wanted to gamify it and add it to where it's something that the player does and can accomplish. So it's part of the growth of the game. It's part of discovery, and it's part of the adventure, and that was important to us as well. So it's about striking the balance between how helpful we are to the player, making sure that they're not uncomfortable playing the game, making sure they don't get frustrated, but at the same time tying it into the adventure of the overall adventure.
And it took a lot of what it was is a lot of community from Discord was so helpful. Like this isn't our game, this is the community's game, and it was built over years listening to what the community wanted. We had multiple play tests. Before that, we had multiple, going back for almost like 3 years, I think. And from all that feedback, we kept making changes. So, we don't see design and development of a game as something we just go off and do in a box somewhere and then give that out to the world and say, here it is. We've built the perfect game. Game design should be a back and forth with the community, and the earlier that starts, the better, and the more time you have to do it, the better. And I think that's what people see when they play this demo is all those people's thoughts and ideas and concepts that they've given us and spent so much time, which we're so appreciative of, spending time giving us that feedback so that we can make these changes. Just even recently, the whole idea of giving you the boat earlier, the boat used to be given to you, I don't know, Eli, what was it, a good hour into the game?
Yeah, I mean, if you knew what you were doing, it was an hour. Like if you're fresh, it would probably be closer to 2 or 3.
Yeah, and now you get access to the boat a lot more rapidly, which just helps the feeling of progress, gets you out into the world, and really exposes you what Critter Cove is about. And that came from our friend Michael, who we used to work with at Tiny Build, a great fan of the game, but also a good friend. And he just recently came up with that idea for us after we had just had a side chat with him. But it's a great change. So yeah, it's all about community.
Which segues beautifully into me probably telling people, should probably tell people when the game is coming out, how that's going to work. We are this is our Steam Next Fest demo that we have been working very hard on, and it's the first official demo of the game, although we did do some play tests before. We're not far away from launching. We will be launching into early access, and I think, Jason, like that really sort of speaks to what you just said, right? That these games are really built and made the best they can be with community. So we're going to be launching into early access this summer, and we're going to be in early access for a little while, taking on all that sort of community feedback for the wider game. We've been refining this first few hours of the game for so long, all of the important bits about the tutorial and getting people into the game, and there's so much here to learn at the start as well, and you've got to do all the character introductions, you've got to find your boat, you've got to go and build these houses, and then the world opens up from there. So we're going to need that same feedback again. We're going to be looking for like how players can find things, where they go, what activities people like to do, the order of the building, all stuff like that is going to continue to be really informed by that early access launch, which will be this summer. And then after that, we will be launching on console after we go to 1.0 on Steam. But the focus, first of all, will be that period of getting you guys to see the bigger game, the other islands that are restricted from the demo, and then during early access we'll be adding even more lands and interest points and different items to craft as well.
There's a thing I wanted you to go back, Rob. Yeah, and go check out. So we have these pictographs all over the world, and that is just such a fun item. I love how Eli has built and designed all these cool ways to learn recipes, and this is just one of the ways you learn recipes. You find these really cool pictographs out in the world, and you read them, and then all of a sudden you learn a recipe. It really, if there's one key around what Critter Cove is, it's supposed to be fun exploring. There's lots of payoffs. So, you go around the island, and this is just another one where you go, oh, now I want to go look for these pictographs and find more of them to see what else I can learn. I think that's really, really cool. The other thing we should do, quite frankly, right away here, Rob, is get into the ocean. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like,
Yes,
most
let's
games,
do that.
you go near the ocean and there's nothing. Like, you can't get in it, or you can only stay on the surface of it. We really wanted Critter Cove to go everywhere. So the water and the underwater is just as important as the land in Critter Cove.
Yes, you can see that I'm not used to actually getting the boat so early. Like, I sort of played at the older version. So let me go, and I don't know if I can get this engine until the workshop's open. I think I have to do that first.
Nah, it's outside. We moved it.
Oh, does it? Okay. See?
It's over there to the right.
Yeah,
at the
back
very
there in the
back.
corner.
There we go. And then
Also, while you're doing that, one of my favorite little Easter eggy things is the footprints. So you've got your little boot prints that you've got since you've got shoes on, and you can kick those shoes off in the inventory.
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. I did not notice that.
And then now you got your cute little paws. So that's one of my favorite little things. You can also move those shoes down to the bottom slot. So if you have different types of shoes, you can actually wear 2 different shoes on your feet. We did that because we have
Oh, look.
different shoes. So
That's
you can go with one shoe on, yes, and your footprints
Yeah,
still work.
different.
brilliant.
Yeah, we may have gone overboard on the details.
On some of it, yeah.
It's taken so long to
Sure.
make because of stuff like that, which I think we just sometimes go a little insane. But yes.
I love stuff
Um,
like that. That's what just makes me so giddy. I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
Maya just asked a question, or more of a statement. I think the meat growing plant is a great way to have both carnivores and herbivores in the game without eating. We actually had that discussion, like, how do we have, like, do you hunt? But you're an animal, and, who are you hunting? And it gets really awkward and weird. So, yeah, so we came up with this idea that you can get meat, quote unquote, from plants. So it's really all plant-based meat, I suppose.
Oh, there he goes. He's gonna go fix your ship.
Yep, he's
Well,
off
he's
to
gonna set it up.
he's off to set it up. I need to talk to Renard before I get it.
Yep. Renard has a request, and this is how this is basically Renard setting up how you're going to get new people onto your island. This is kind of him teaching you how to go find people out in the world, and it's all part of how you get people back to your island is all part of the exploration, where we encourage you to go travel to new places, and you're going to find new people and new quests and things out there. This is just kind of the this is kind of the introduction. It's the first time you're going to do it, and so he kind of tells you how to do it. It's just a onboarding.
Somebody asked about Anchor and what his role will be kind of moving forward. I think eventually he's what else is he going to be doing, Eli?
So his primary role on the island is he deals with most of your sea-based stuff. So he builds your ship for you. He's going to be the one that gets you going on how to scuba, so you can breathe underwater. He pushes you on how to eventually do the ship upgrade, and then he himself has his own personal story that once you become friendly enough with him, he's going to share with you, and he'll send you on an adventure that specifically and tells like a little bit of his backstory. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I think it's a pretty cool little story with ghosts. So there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how long we spent trying to get the boat driving and the water physics done properly. That was another, somebody asked about technical challenges or just, development challenges. And this was a huge one. Just to get this to feel fun and right was very, very difficult. But I think it turned out well in the end.
Yeah, it feels great. The way the boat moves around, the speed, and this is the starter boat, right? So there are some there's a next upgrade to your boat, which is not just a bathtub with a lawnmower engine in it, but I think this one is. We have moved away from the demo. Where can we go? We can go to Salashans.
Yeah, go left. There you go. Head that way. And there's actually a little. We're going to show off underneath water stuff. There's a nice little place where there's those floating. What do they call those? Floating flowers.
Yeah, some sort of sea plant life. Thankfully, it doesn't sting you. We're gonna have environmental dangers, but nothing too scary. We're not gonna have. It's not like a Subnautica where we're gonna have a giant monster that's just gonna come out of nowhere. You do have to worry about your oxygen levels.
And the fish. That was another big challenge. Is being able to create some really cool underwater fish. This will show off another thing that Eli did, which I think is just crazy good. Oh, it's a little bit of a lore item.
I'm wondering if I'm still breathing. I can read without. I was going to say something like I want to show this and I want to read it because I've not read that, but I don't want to die.
No, it pauses your when you're in a window or something like that while you're under the surface. It pauses your oxygen loss because there's some times where you might be learning a recipe or discover something under there, and you don't want to be, we don't want the player to accidentally drown because we are showing them some information.
And
so this is the other way. Go dismantle something, Rob, because this is the other way that you learn recipes, which I think is just brilliant. So as you dismantle things, you'll see a little bit of a research thing pop out. So you see that researching copper still 1 of 5.
You want to go to the
That's
surface.
One of the ways
I was so engaged listening to Jason, I nearly died. Come on.
Oh, get up.
We're up.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, as you take apart items, you learn how they work. And that's one of the key ways to learn how to build recipes in the game. And I think it's very unique, it's very original, it's very fun. I think it's probably one of my favorite features.
Oh, you got yourself a pie. Nice.
It's got to be a wet
sea
pie.
pie.
Got yourself an underwater pie.
After being underneath the water so long.
Salty.
A nice example here of the incredible day-night cycle and the lighting on the water that inspired, I suppose, the whole the whole setting. Did it take long to get the water right, Jason?
It took a long time to get the water right. Now, we worked with a team in England. They're called the Crest Water Team. Crest is the product. We were probably one of the first people to use it, or very close to that. And we worked with those guys hand in hand to tweak it for us. But they did an amazing job. They really did. That system of water is beyond phenomenal. But it does take, it took us a lot of work to get it to work for Critter Cove the way we want it to get the look right and all that. But big shout out to those guys because just amazing team and amazing product.
Yeah, here's an example of this is part of the exploration of the game, and I think we're gonna have a total of 10. I think it's a total of 10 islands that will just be found all across the world, different biomes. Right now we're in the tropical region, but there's what we were calling the enchanted region, which is this more fantastical kind of lands. And yeah, and this is how you find characters. You're going to come to these islands, explore, find these different critters who will have little challenges for you to do. Basically, they have little quests, and if you can successfully complete their quest, then you can offer to bring them back to Critter Cove, and they'll come back and move into the town, and you can grow the town that way. The other thing you'll find on these islands are other little, not just resources and things that you're going to need to build out Critter Cove, but you're also going to find all these Easter eggs and little hidden things and little fun quests to do. And because again, exploration and adventure is really an important part of this game. It's integral to it. We really want people to go out and explore and have fun exploring and not know what they're going to find around the next corner and want to go climb that mountain, want to go in that cave, want to go under the water and see what's down there. Because you'll never know what sort of surprises you'll come across.
Did I get that chest? Or did
Yeah.
I, did I?
You did. Just go back to him. So just go straight. And he's right behind that stone.
It's getting dark.
Yeah. So you want to get back to the island. Take a nap. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Now, this is one of the other fun little things I love is that the NPCs will get in the water and go swim.
Oh, he's going to give you something. What did he give you?
Uncle Boot.
A new pair of shoes. So this is he's one of our different personalities. Like all of our characters have like various personalities, and he's one of our oddball ones. Ask questions about. So if he wants to put on his new shoes.
Yeah, don't pressure me, man. I didn't want to be rude. Someone gives you a gift, you're not wearing. Someone gives you a gift perhaps because you met them when you weren't wearing shoes because you forgot to put them back on. You want to show that you care.
Oh, he's in the boat. He's waiting for you.
I love how the visuals turned out at all these different times, night and day. Frankie Hobbs, he was our expert on lighting and just did an amazing job.
Do we dock here? Or do we dock over there?
Here.
Yeah. I just get these two little bits confused. There we go.
You just press E and it'll just do it.
So he's excited to be here, but he's gonna still need a place to stay, so he's gonna need you to help him out. content for Tulio.
So we now have, and this is a good place to sort of look and to see like how the game talking about like this idea of exploration and being free. So we have our boat now. We can go anywhere. We're limited in the demo, but otherwise you can sort of go sailing, and you will pick up quests from both the characters in the village. You will pick up whole new villages from going around exploring the world, and really you can do these things in the order that you want to do them. We've jumped off onto the boat to show you guys sort of some of the open world exploration stuff, but there are characters, especially in the earlier playtests that we did, where people would play and like not leave the main island for like 3 or 4 hours, and we also know that the length of the demo that we have now, I think we're getting people playing for several hours. And so we're excited to be able to show off all of that new content, and you can just jump into this demo on Steam now, and play it how you want to play it. Go to the island, or go to build a boat, talk to Copper Bottom and do some of the crafting quests, or jump into what I will do now, which is go and introduce you guys to Sammy and Pokey, 2 of the island's main residents that are 2 of the characters that are also in every single game. I'm going to go to bed first though, so that we can avoid the nighttime darkness plus Twitch streaming compression that make it a bit more sunny.
Yeah, that's another key difference between us and some other games is we don't have any cutoff, so you can kind of stay up as long as you want. Typically, you can go to bed to just kind of skip things forward a little faster or to recover your stamina, but we don't force you to go to sleep at night.
You can just stay up for weeks at a time on berries and pie that you find in the sea, just like real life.
We also will have quests and certain things that kind of rely on you to be up at night. So we try to take advantage of the nighttime. Again, it's just another environment that we want to explore.
One of our nice sunset or sunrises.
And Pokey may be in bed.
Might be a little early for Pokey.
Yeah, I think she gets up around 7. I know Sammy gets up at 8.
Well, we have got up early. We'll go talk to Copper Bottom because I believe he wants us for something as well, and he doesn't sleep.
That's right.
Oh, and you can hit. Oh, you have been. Have you? Or shift. Yeah, shift is. We added a sprint ability, which is very nice.
Also, if you guys want to see different playthroughs and some other people's take on more in-depth playthroughs, you can go to Kira Lala. She has she did some coverage as well as tricks for kids. Tricks and Kira, if you want to post your links in the stream chat, feel free.
Oh yeah, he's gonna give you another recipe, which will teach you how to make another tool. Tools are in these games. Everyone wants to collect a bunch of tools to do a bunch of different jobs. So you'll finally be able to start chopping some wood. And then we have a lot of interesting ones too that'll be coming in. Like one of my favorite is the plunger launcher, which is a gun that shoots a plunger out and basically brings items back to you from a distance. So there's several. Later on, you'll start finding like these other challenges where you're trying to reach something, and you want to use the plunger launcher to shoot up and connect something out of the sky and pull it down to you. Various little tools like that.
These basic tools, it might not be obvious on the stream, but these basic tools auto-use as well, which is such a nice quality of life feature. So if you are close to something that uses the wrench and you are holding an axe, it actually just chooses the right tool for the job automatically for you.
Yeah, one of our favorite quality of life improvements. We added a few of them. There's still a few that we want to do. Like, again, the community has helped out a lot with this, where a lot of their suggestions are just like, oh yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Crafting out of containers is another one. So it's really helpful. Their feedback, the feedback of the community is just great. It's always you get so many different ideas and so many really good ideas.
What do they say? Me is not as great as we.
Something like that.
I love Copper Bottom. He's I think he's my favorite character.
So Copper
Yeah,
Bottom, he sort of handles the, at least early in the game, he sort of play as like crafting ally. If Anchor is doing the sea, Copper Bottom is definitely all about setting this workshop up, and setting up the whole thing with crafting in the game, which is also a pretty big part, right?
Yeah. He's so they all have their own different roles. Like Renard kind of handles the economic portion of the game. Anchor takes care of the sea and exploration, and then Copper Bottom is all about the crafting and the building and in the developing. And then there'll be a character that isn't in the demo yet, called Professor Woolington, which will help which will be the collectible side of things. So each one of like our main characters have, you know, these kind of distinct roles that they kind of fulfill about the cornerstones of the game. Hey, Sammy's awake. Sammy's another character who just lives here on the island at the beginning of the game. He's a helpful, happy type personality. Very friendly. Very excited there.
There's a little
Yes.
pop right.
The two starting characters that live here couldn't be two more different people,
You
as
can
we will
chop.
discover in a moment.
You can chop any wooden thing and get some of those branches, by the way, or like the tree trunks.
I see you see me collecting sticks for my workshop, which is what I was
Yeah,
up
I
to.
did.
Okay, if I see another one, I will in a minute. I think there will be one down here. I will chop. I forgot I had the axe. Whoop, whoop.
The birds are still a work in progress. They're a little bit too much like a ball. They kind of fly around like a ball. There's one on the right.
Sky's a
Whoop.
nice.
Sorry, I was watching the birds. This is how easily I get distracted. This is why I'm a terrible Twitch streamer.
There you go. Straight ahead. It'll give you the
There
wood.
we go. Perfect. I still need I think I need like one more. But we are also coming this way for a reason. Do you want to find?
Here, smash those picket fences or something.
Oh yeah.
There's another one.
Just do some property damage. And there is one here too.
There we go. Yeah, ping pong birds. That's a good one.
Yeah, you can't really make everything. You can't clean everything up until you break everything.
There he is. I was like, where's he gone? I was looking for Pokey. He was hiding around here. He's the same color as the sand.
Oh, no, he went around the rock while you went around the other side. She did.
There she
did.
is.
Pokey. My favorite character.
There you go. Who's asking her? None of your concern. Everyone's too nice to her.
She's a She is a grumpy type character. She'll be a little prickly, but she's got a good heart. You know, at her core, I think. Maybe.
Deep down.
She might really, really deep down. Yeah, one of the nice things that she'll be one of the characters that really display their personality type the best is as you increase with relationship status with them, they'll actually start becoming more friendly towards you, more helpful. As you become more friendly towards them, they'll offer different quests and they'll offer different things, but you'll really notice it with the grumpy type character is their dialogue changes a little bit as you go. So as you become more and more friends with the people who live there, they change over time.
All right, so you got your workshop being worked on.
And I think, do we have any?
Gotta get those out of trash
cloth?
can.
We can't get those yet. Oh, Pokey's back.
Oh.
Got something for you.
One of the cool things that I've always liked about Critter Cove is characters will just come and find you organically. You don't have to sit around. If someone has a quest for you and they are urgently demanding your attention, they will just cross the island and they will come and find you where you are and start talking to you. It's a nice way. It makes it feel like a very alive place to have these characters that can just organically pop up and start asking many different things of you.
Yeah, the Gloria is correct. She kind of pointed out that sometimes they can stack on each other. So we've worked on a pacing so that you don't have too many things trying to interrupt you, but it still happens once in a while. So it's a work in progress. So we try to keep the flow correct where you have like one or so, but not, they don't keep waving at you. But due to randomness, sometimes that can happen. So we're still trying to sort it. But yeah, I agree, Rob. Getting the immersion where the characters don't just stand around waiting for everything, that they actually seem to be doing things. That's another fun thing that we've tried to really, really do. And we have a lot more planned to be done. The biggest things is getting them to react to the environment. Eli's been working with them reacting to storms, which I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, getting them to react to what's going on around them is, I think, part of the fun. Having the characters do different things. Right now, like Jason said, we're working on what happens when it storms, and so the characters will actually run for cover, and if they have an umbrella and a raincoat set, they'll put that on. They'll equip that, and so you'll get these different moments like that. And then this one here is had to have a I think he's up by the scuba, the air tanker thing.
He's not in his home. Yeah, I'll go have a check.
He's such a positive little guy.
Ooh, accidentally examined it there rather than talking.
Oh.
As we are going through and finding a treasure, how does we talked a little bit about the final character who isn't in the demo, who is Wallington. How does the museum and the treasure in the game work in overall?
So there's going to be Wallington. Once you unlock Wallington, you'll bring her back to the island, fix up the museum, and then she's going to send you out into the world to find treasures. And the treasures are going to be found in all sorts of places, and some of them will require special tools to get into the place where they're hiding. Some of them will require like we're not a jumping puzzle game, or we're not a platform or anything, but sometimes you're going to have to make a few do a little bit of like jump across a chasm to get over to where the thing is. Nothing too major, of course. But what you do is you find these treasures out in the world, and you'll bring them back to Woolington, and then Woolington will display them in the museum. And then the more treasures you have, the more famous your museum will become, and the more when the tourists with the tourist system, they'll go in and they'll want to take pictures of them, and they'll want to see all this stuff you have. So it's kind of like this world collection system where most POIs and most islands will at least have one piece of treasure that you have to find and recover. And those treasures can be anything from golden crowns and statues and things like that, to all the way to like some of the old world stuff. And the old world is the remains of the place that was before, which was a more technologically advanced place. And so you might find a little robot or something that you're going to bring back, and that's considered a treasure because it's part of the ancient history of Critter Cove.
And that's set in the sort of, we call it post-apocalyptic. It's a little bit different to most post-apocalyptic video games. But was that something that was always in the game? Because we don't see it so much in the demo, and we don't see it so much in this early portion of the game. There are signs everywhere, and there's some underwater stuff pretty close to the actual main island here that is a big clue to this. But these later islands here, they lean much heavier into this idea of there being a civilization that came before. Was that something that was always there, or something that was worked in during development?
It was another one of those natural things that just came about sort of during development. One of the images that was early on when we were messing with water, one of the images that really stuck in our head was the idea of swimming through skyscrapers. All the kind of like the movie Waterworld. And so that was one of those things that really stuck with us, and so we started messing with it, and then the lore of the world kind of came out of that, where we were like, yeah, what would be cool is you're kind of a scrap person, a scrap dealer kind of character. You're building this new paradise off of the things that you find and discover. And well, how are you going to find everything you need? Well, you have to salvage them from the remains of the old world. And so it kind of was a natural, like, that would be a cool imagery, but also that's fun gameplay. And also it just was, and it also really grows the number of things that you can explore, and especially when you're dealing with the underwater zones.
I mean,
yeah.
I always remember this coming. I was like, oh no, what have I done wrong? It's like, oh yes, I haven't eaten.
Yeah, they get worried about you if you're low on stamina. They'll come up and be a little concerned. But he'll also teach you some stuff.
Yeah, this is showing off that environmental aspects where the NPCs, are tied into the world, so they kind of know what's going on. So they know when it's raining, they know when you're not feeling well, or you have like low stamina in this case, or you haven't slept. They know about the world, and we actually have reactions to it, and we're going to continue to add more and more of that through early access. Oh, ate a pie.
And that pie has solved my immediate stamina problems, which goes down if we run. And as Sammy explained, you can just go to bed. and restore it. Or if that's not possible, if you are on a longer trip, you can take food with you and you can cook food at a cooking station, which we also found the recipe for just now as well.
One of the things we're going to be unlocking first in early access is the underwater city, which is to the you can just see it from shore here. It's out directly out in front of the docks.
There it is.
Depending on
Just
what your view settings are.
let's see if I can.
Oh, there they are. So you get to just see them.
Just see the building sticking out.
Okay, so you can just see them sticking out of the water out there. You can't quite reach them in the demo. They're not in the allowed space, but you can get kind of close.
Yeah, that's definitely the area that was based off of that whole. Yeah, would it be cool if we had skyscrapers under the ocean? But that's part of the exploration, it's part of the open worldness. Is you'll see things off in the distance, you'll be like, "What is that?" And we let you go there. You'll get on your boat and you'll travel out there. You'll put on the scuba gear. And, gave you the couple hats. Oh, talk to him again. He'll do the scuba this time. And then here's an example of like we'll let you swim around a little while and you get to okay, I'm gonna have oxygen problems and stuff, and then you solve it with a new tool. Eventually here's the scuba, and then as long as you have air tanks you can stay underwater. Eventually the same thing will happen when you have to start diving deeper and deeper underwater. It's going to get cold, and to counter that you're going to need a wetsuit. And you might be like, well, I'm going a little slow, and soon you're going to get flippers. And we have a sea scooter even, which is this little underwater vehicle which makes you go underwater very, extremely fast compared to swimming. So you're gonna have all these like tools and things to learn and grow and become better and better at the primary functions of the game.
Up and unlock the workshop.
I just thought I would show some of the early crafting recipes. So these are things that you can build straight away, whether you have whether you've had a recipe by now already, or whether they are just parts of the first few things you can build in the workshop. And they will need all these different items. We won't have time today to go and start searching for a bunch of these, but this whole quest now will go through in the demo all of the basic workstations and the different items that you'll need to build them.
I definitely want to give a huge shout out to our amazing art team that worked on all this stuff. When we were with Tiny Build, we had a outsourced studio called Puga that made a lot of our kind of our initial look, feel, wonky style that we went with. And then we had an internal team of Monica, Isaiah, Bernice, Luis, and Ricky, and they did just a fantastic job on all the wonky craziness, the characters, just a fun, unique, and just a beautiful world. Just super, super cool.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. I think our style is very unique. It's very, especially in this space. We're friendly. I think in many cases we're very cute. But at the same time we're messy. We don't have a whole lot of straight lines, and everything looks a little bit bent and twisted. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, how do you make post-apocalyptic cute? Well, somehow I think the art team pulled it off. I think they were able to do that.
And then I don't know if they want me mentioning them, but all the cool spaces that have been built out. That is Junie. I did an excellent job with just this crazy crazy wonky city, and a lot of I think all of our POIs, just super cool, very stylized, and very unique use of all these assets. It's just super cool and just a really fun place to explore. So thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
And so I will wrap us up now, as we cannot possibly complete this incredibly long demo in the hour that we have on Steam today. But I just wanted to finish up as I wander around the town a bit with a bit of a preview from you guys. Like, what is the most exciting thing you're looking forward to for the actual main game launch, the early access launch, to have players to experience and see?
I'm gonna go with sorry, I was gonna go with the museum. I think that's gonna be a really cool place to unlock.
I'm really just looking forward to seeing them in the expanded world. Really looking forward to seeing everybody play the multitudes of different POIs and different islands and adventures that are to be found out there. I'm looking forward opening up the open world.
Yeah, the Sunken City is one of my favorite areas, but yeah, just the whole open worldness of it, just being able to go any place you want and being able to actually find useful stuff. There's so many games that I've played that I'm just like, oh, I go here, this is really cool, but there's just nothing here. So this is, we made the scrap useful, so everything that you find is going to have some use.
Here we are. I will end here at the Town Museum, which is here in the demo, but it is not fixable. As are many of the other buildings in the town. Well, the whole town is here. The demo will last a good 2 hours, and we have, much to Jason's chagrin, we have made it so that the demo does save into the main game. So it's been quite a lot of work to make that happen, as we're not launching for a few more months yet. So like this has been able to give you guys a chance to play. You don't have to replay again. I know people that have been in our community and have played multiple play tests of this first opening section of the game are probably done and ready to jump onto a boat and sail to new islands. So you'll be able to save here, and the demo will just pick up from that point. As I mentioned, the game is launching in a little while. We haven't got an exact release date yet. It will be summer. We are just now putting the final game back together, and then just before we launch, we'll also have a roadmap for you for early access and everything that is going to include, so you can sort of see where things are going, and we can start very early getting community feedback as well for this. Thank you very much for watching and joining the chat today. If you're watching this on Steam, please download the demo, check us out. You can wishlist us on the same page that you are now on. And thanks to you guys for joining me today and talking back through this game that has taken 5 years now of your lives to finish up, and it must be pretty incredible that it's so close now to launch.
Yay!
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Listening. Yeah, it was fantastic, and I want to thank everybody in chat and everybody who's watching the video. Thank you very much.
And if you
really
call out
you
our
like the
Discord.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.